Welcome to YourBrickFix.
Today we're going to be going over the new D&D set.
Lego set.
Yeah, the new.
D&D
this is Lego, so it's the new D&D set.
The new D&D Lego set.
Yeah, the new D&D Lego
Okay,
set.
we can do that.
I mean, it might just be a new D&D set, really. I mean, maybe it's not even
sets?
Lego anymore.
I thought they just made books.
They got,
I mean,
play features, figures.
yeah, people make figures for it, so I guess you could have a play
This
set.
will be replacing your D&D set.
Yeah, now you need it. Yeah. I've taken a little bit of a look at it, but very high level. Gerald's taken a little bit more of a deeper look at it. He's going to be walking me through it. This is kind of a little bit my first reaction to it. But on top of that, we're both D&D players a little bit.
Casually.
Casually. So it'll be interesting to look at it from a D&D perspective. I did hear a rumor that this is supposed to be able to be played with. Is that...
We're going to look into it and see, but I think you could theoretically play with it, even if it wasn't designed for it. You could always use it.
You could use it as a
with some of the figures that they've added to it. But we'll get into that with what's there. Okay, I'm going to pull this up here. Let's get this nice and full screen. So here's the set, just from their main showpiece of it, and you can see here you got the big red dragon. You've got a little inn and a little port.
And then you got a castle behind it.
Yep. And it looks to be a little bit of a decrepit kind of castle, somewhat kind of falling apart maybe.
Yeah.
And then, in the background we can see a few things like a beholder. It looks like an owl bear. I really need to remember what those are called.
What?
We can get into it.
I don't know where you're pointing.
All right, let's go to the any other things that you want to touch on here before we move on?
No, I mean, if it is full play, it's a little condensed, so that's one of my concerns about it. If you're trying to play around it, it'd be hard to move from the inn to the castle. Not a lot of space to get there. It feels like a very condensed play field from a player's perspective, sort of thing.
One thing that I'll point out here that I kind of like, for anybody who's been collecting the new knights kind of sets, with the new castle that they have, the forest little free gift with purchase that they had. They are keeping with that same trend of how they do some of those trees here. So it's very similar in that design. So it kind of like has some of that Lego nostalgia built into the way that they're doing this, setting within here. So you could even potentially tie in things from those other Lego sets if you wanted to.
Gotcha.
So here we are with the box art. Obviously, it's just basically the same thing, and you got that nice Dungeons and Dragons branding with Lego.
Logo right there, yeah.
Yep. And then we'll just jump ahead since there's not too much difference there. So here we get a nice look at the back of the set.
So it looks like you have, let's see, you got your keep right there. And then underneath it, that looks like it's subterranean because there's grass right here. So it looks like you're going underground, and then you definitely have a subterranean right there with a little courtyard space, which is cool.
I like that. You see what that is there? You got a little gelatinous cube there.
Yes.
Yep, those are always fun.
Is that a skeleton piece inside of the cube?
Yeah, I'll wait till we dive in further, but yes. So here we go. Here's another side angle of the set. And you got the owl bear coming at us here. A little bit off-center from the previous showbox art version of it.
Right. The keep looks good. I like the how it's falling down a little bit.
This is something I hadn't noticed before, but this kind of looks like a little bit of some type of eldritch or water aquatic tentacle kind of coming out here.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going on there. So it's a little nod to more things that could
be more encounters.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next page here. So here we go. We're getting into one of the segments. Clearly, this is what we were talking about before, the little tentacle part kind of coming out of the water. A nice view of that tree with the...
that tree looks good.
Then we got the sigils, I guess. Is that what you call those?
I'll go for a sigil.
For this set.
Their emblem.
Yeah. And then I like
some nice trees.
Yeah, I haven't seen this done for these kinds of trees before, with Lego, but I like the way that looks there. Give a nice little like small pine.
So this is more of just a forested area with a castle backsplash. So this comes apart.
It looks like it, yes.
Okay.
It looks like it comes apart based on what we're seeing here.
Okay,
So
we got
our
the little
studs
modules
for connecting.
I wonder if they're going to make more modules that you can tie together, so that way you can tie.
One would hope that this leads to many
multiple
more
things.
D&D.
So then you could actually create a
stuff.
whole entire thing. So maybe it'll be like Hogwarts Castle, right? And so it'll all be modular sections, and then you can tie all of those modular sections together as a dungeon master in order to build your dungeon.
That would be so cool.
Oh, what would be really cool is you wouldn't even have all the modules out. You could just pull the modules as the dungeon master and attach them as they discover more spaces, and then you could obviously populate the rooms based on what you have going on in there.
Yep.
So that'd be a really cool feature.
That'd be
for the
a cool
dungeon
way
master.
to build it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and so then you don't have to reveal the whole entire thing. You can actually reveal it one area at a time.
And with that said, like for anybody wanting to do that themselves, you really could. This is just the starting block.
Right, you could
just
mock
go
it up yourself.
Create, and other people could start creating mocks for, pieces for
Right,
a set
and you
because,
you could make your own rooms and expand it based on all of these points. I think that's a great point.
Here's something that's really cool. We got this nice dragonborn portrait here. It looks like a dragonborn family with their egg. They just had their baby, I guess.
That's nice.
So, and I do like that we've got dragonborn in this set, so for playable characters. And I'm not quite sure what we got going on here, but it looks a little bit sussy.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to the next one. So here we have the dock and the entrance to that.
To the inn.
It's the Inn of Plain
In plain sight, yeah.
And kind of, you've got the, what's it called? The Eye of Saruman kind of looking thing there, but I guess it's a dragon eye.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And it looks like they have a little bit of some boxes, from
For looting.
a little delivery maybe that was just dropped off to port.
Yeah. I like the door. That's a really cool looking door. I like the gold inlay on it.
And then...
the dragon head for the in plain sight thing. That's really cool. Especially since it is a dragon that's running it. And then again, still modular right there. So free to connect that to any other modules.
So here we got the roof.
Okay. Is this the second floor and the roof?
I don't know. It's the roof. I'd have to look at the
go
image.
back.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that looks like it goes right above the door right there.
I think it probably does. I think it's a small inn overall based on the size of the set and the fact that keep was pretty high.
You can't have too much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would...
Love the little smoke coming out feature. That's always
really
nice.
cool.
Show that it's lively, that things are going on, And the coloring's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Like it breaks it up.
Purple, brown, gold, blue.
No.
Some tan.
All right. And here we go. There's the little keep.
Nice. So it looks like that comes entirely off and could be even laid flat for your modules. That looks really good. I really like it. And you got 2 different levels for going in. So if you ever have an encounter in there, you'd have 2 different areas for going in. You could scale the wall for a playable feature right there if you wanted to, if you didn't want to go through the main door.
Sure, but that's going to take you like maybe 3 turns.
Depends. I mean,
depends on what you are.
Yeah, it depends on what you are, and it depends on what the scale is here, right? So the question is
that's
if you're moving around, right? What is the scale? And I think there's a rule book coming out.
Maybe we'll find out at the end if there is or not. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
we're gonna find out more.
Okay, so here we go. Some of the characters.
Look, see, you do want to go around that top door because look at that pitfall right there. Yeah.
So it looks like we got here an elf, maybe. What would you guess? High elf, wood elf,
just some sort of elf.
I'm thinking, judging by the armor and I'm going to call this guy probably a high elf. Is probably what this guy is.
Sure.
And then I'm not sure what this guy is.
He looks like a rogue.
He looks rogue.
Looks roguish because of the dagger.
He looks more of a
rogue orc.
Yeah, he might be an orc. Yeah, he might be an orc given the fangs. I'd have to see without the hood, I guess. But maybe that's an orc.
So then you got your Dragonborn right there.
Yep, and there we go. Yep, the Dragonborn.
At least one human. And then another elf right there in the back.
I would think this is a wood elf, maybe.
And then looks like a second human.
Oh, maybe this guy, he looks like he's actually half size. So maybe he's not even an elf. Maybe he's a halfling.
Sure.
Because like look at the size that he's being presented as.
Or a gnome.
It could be, yeah. And then this looks to be like your standard human
Yep.
guy, and an older gentleman. And so you got your classic tavern meetup.
Okay.
That you need in every D&D spot to meet and like get everything
and
started.
Get acquainted.
And figure out what you're doing.
Make some trades.
I guess the Dragonborn's a bard. That's kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Dragonborn bard.
And you still have your Technic pieces for connecting to other.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing since they're using Technic, that makes it so that it is pretty loose fitting. So because it's not
so you can pull it apart. Yeah.
Or it's going to have a Technic kind of slotch on the other side. But so far, I've only seen the regular round connections on them, all of them. But I'm guessing this guy's an orc now that we see him without the hood. I would say it's probably an orc here. All right, so now we got the mobs that you get in here. There's the gelatinous cube, and yes, it has a skull inside.
Nice.
And then
you got your beholder.
Yeah.
You got a undead of some sort, skeleton.
Yep, could be any kind of undead there.
Right.
And I don't know, is this guy a paladin maybe?
I'll go for a paladin.
It looks like he might be
looks
wielding, quite the righteous fury there.
Yeah.
And then here we got somebody who looks more like a wizard here.
Yep.
And then maybe a rogue in this instance for the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
And then you've got your standard fighter probably.
Yeah.
Or could
Barbarian.
be a paladin as well.
Yeah.
I would lean away from barbarian since you're wearing armor.
Too much armor. Yeah, you're right.
And then this mob is a displacer.
Okay.
And so those were always pretty tricky when you encounter them. They've got some sneak mechanics and invisibility, I think, to some degree. It's a pretty good little one to have. To have on there. And then this guy seems more roguelike than the other guy right here. So I don't know.
I mean, the Dragonborn could still be the bard. He just could have a
he could be using his dagger. Yeah. That's true. Just not using it there. Very excited about this. Love the little bits of mobs that they have in here. Would love them to do some more too. And then obviously the red dragon would still be in it, which you don't see in those previous ones. So that's a big feature to not forget about. Something that would be hard fought that early on in any game. So it's a nice thing to have as a looming thing, not a day one game feature.
Yeah.
And then I think that's kind of it. We got some
people playing D&D.
People playing, and like obviously, let's go back to this one. So you can kind of see they're kind of got it a little bit more played out. It almost does look like that you could just jump into playing it as a D&D table.
Yeah.
They're kind of good.
I mean, if you start your encounters in different areas and you move through and you treat each area as a different encounter, it's still a very contained play space for moving around, considering that, normally each of your squares are 5 foot by 5 foot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you were to dice it down and you kind of used a minifig as your standard for base, then I mean it's kind of crowded in that there.
Yeah. It's definitely a crowded play field where it's at right
so now. I mean, I'd probably move it down to, almost either a 4x4 cube, or a 3x3 cube for spacing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
For what every 5 foot is, I guess. If you were to move that into playing on.
Sure. That could make sense. Well, let's take a look at the rest of the page here. So, coming out at the beginning of this coming month of April, if you buy it right away, you can get this Mimic.
Oh, nice.
Free gift with purchase. So, big incentive to jump in and get it right away.
Yeah.
And then, look what we have here. It does look like there's some type of
manual
D&D book coming out for the Lego version.
Okay.
It at least says Red Dragon's Tale.
Yeah. Okay.
And it features Lego creatures on there from this set. So excited to see what's in that book. Maybe it has some rule sets for playing with Lego D&D. But anyways, it looks like there is something exclusive coming in the way of
a book,
D&D book for
that'll be
Lego.
fun. Yeah.
And then obviously it looks like, I guess that's why the 50's on the box. They're celebrating the 50 years of Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
Like the little animation they've got for
that's fun.
I could even see Lego doing a Dungeons and Dragons like video game.
Oh, video game?
Lego video game.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure that they will have a Dungeons and Dragons video game just like they have all their other video games.
I mean, it would be great if they did.
Where you break things and then you rebuild them to move on.
Yeah. Anyways, here we go. Looks like we got an interactive 360 spin here.
Okay, wait. Go back. What are those pluses?
Yeah, we should click the pluses.
Yeah.
Let's go back to this first one. Actually, let's do one spin through. See if it spins. No, it doesn't spin all the way through. So let's see if I do this. Does it? Oh, yeah. All right, let's spin it. Here we go. Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice. Good spin.
Wow.
All right, go back. Oh, what'd you do?
Just selected it all. Okay. So we're going to go back to one here.
Okay, so
here's this plus.
So you can roll dice.
Roll dice.
And they do show people playing with it.
Okay.
Again, looks a little condensed.
Visit the inn in plain sight.
Yep.
Okay. What else? Then we got don't fall through the traps. So they got traps.
Yeah, so
they got
traps,
several traps.
Which is good. Oh, yeah.
There
you go.
Traps,
Bye.
so you gotta roll to succeed. And then what we got here? Meet the creatures of your adventure. So we can't cover those. Oh, we didn't cover the mushroom ones. So maybe they got some red caps. Maybe that's what those are.
Yep.
And some spiders. So a few creatures more than we expected. And then what we got over here? It says endless playable.
Yep.
Surprise encounters. Yeah.
So you can change it depending on. I mean, that's your dungeon master's job is to make it more playable, right?
And we got choose your own adventure, of course. So far, nothing. It's not really saying much that we don't already kind of can suspect. But what do we got? Watch out for monsters. Yep.
Okay.
The holder's pretty dangerous.
And you got your red dragon.
Meet the
Cinder Howl.
So maybe it's got a specific name here.
Yeah.
The red dragon that inspires the tale. So obviously they're building something around this whole gameplay here.
That's cool.
Oh, look at this. He's got a little bolt up there.
That's
something.
cool.
Some type of magic. That
Looks like he's taking on the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, we've gone all the way through that. Let's keep going.
I want to see if I can see more directly. He's just
Now he's not even aiming at it.
Okay,
So
here we go. Now we get to know.
Cleric. There you go.
So a dwarf cleric.
A gnome fighter.
Gnome fighter.
Orc rogue.
Orc rogue. Okay.
And an elf wizard.
So yeah, it was an orc. Good call. So wizard, fighter. We didn't get cleric. We thought paladin, but this could easily be a paladin too if we wanted to do either or. You know.
I mean, that's just what they're picking. I'm sure you could pick whatever you want for your character.
Obviously, you probably want a cleric in the group though for better heals.
Better heals. Yeah.
So they're doing a party of 4, it looks like, overall.
Right.
But obviously, it looked like you could have a Dragonborn, you could have him be a bard, that you could have more than just that party.
Right.
All right, here's our monsters. So we got the Cinder Howl Red Dragon. We got a Owlbear, the Gelatinous Cube, like we thought.
And then we got more sets.
They're recommending all these other
more
castle
things we can buy.
And I
think
guess
that's it.
So yeah,
I like it. I like it as a set. I think that it would be better. I mean, I like it as a set. I think it would be better, more spread out. But I get why it's so condensed because it's a Lego set first and foremost.
And it's expensive.
Yeah,
when it comes down to it.
How much is it?
We're talking, I think, $350.
Is it?
Yeah, close one more. Yeah. It's
$360. Okay, so like this isn't something everyone's going to be buying. I mean, a full D&D group might buy this together to play. I don't know, but it's not for the faint of heart. But it's a good set. I would like to see modules. I'd like to see Lego made modules so that way you could expand out the set, have more area for playability, bring in more characters. As well as, I don't know, more weapons, more monsters. Maybe some Lego D&D dice is in our future.
It could be okay.
That could be fun.
I think the dice, that could be fun, but not a crucial thing. I think the big thing that you hit on is more monsters, because the figures, you got plenty of figures.
Right, you got plenty of figures
from all of Lego,
right.
but
You
having
do need more monsters.
Specific stuff. And then what you can do is, going in the future, they could just introduce a few more. They don't have to be these big epic sets, but just one little like $40 play field or something. Or here's your little meadow area with a couple little,
and then you could bring your inn. You could bring your inn over to that meadow area, and then you could move through the meadow area. You could keep your keep. You could move that over, and then you could go play from the inn through the meadow area to the keep. All modular, so that way you can make all of that happen, and really enjoy a more spread out area. Yeah. And the to be honest, while it's a field, it doesn't need to be that populated of a field. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is a lot about using your imagination a little bit, and seeing it in your mind's eye, sort of thing. So you don't need too much there. Now, obviously, Lego is about bringing the whole entire idea into physical form, and that's why you would buy an actual Lego set. But we do need more creatures. We do need more enemies, right? Because there's only so many times you want to take on, what is it, six different creatures? 6 different creatures,
and a couple of these are pretty difficult. Like a beholder is going to be a difficult one that you're not going to.
And a red dragon's going to be pretty difficult.
So it's like you don't have enough.
Low
to
level.
fill in your level gaps.
You need some
to
low
make it
level
along
creatures.
the way.
Yeah.
So you would want more so having some sets that have good mob amounts that you could have build up your small little amounts. So a couple little goblins, a couple little undead creatures. So just
like with the Star Wars stuff, we need some battle packs for mobs, which would be just some low level mob battle packs, and then some higher level mob battle packs. Maybe mix them together, so that way you have a 4-character battle pack that has 3 lower level mobs, 1 higher level mob, and then you could buy a couple of those. You could buy a couple variations of those, and then you could really round out an encounter or a couple of encounters throughout the whole entire thing. It'd be really cool if they partnered up even more so with Dungeons and Dragons and went for D&D Adventure League, and then went for some of those lower level D&D Adventure League sort of missions, and then basically created a whole entire mob set around each one of those lower level Adventure League sets. And then also, if D&D started writing some D&D Adventure League encounters around the mobs that Lego is obviously producing as well.
Right.
And then obviously you could always bring in some of your other minifigures. You could bring in the Vampire Knights, for instance, or other things like that were from the Series 25. Unfortunately, Series 26 isn't D&D characters.
You could maybe have somebody from
the future.
Well, not quite from the future. You could go with what did they call it? The one with the Warforged. It's the steampunk genre of D&D.
Right.
That section.
So you could bring in some stuff like that, and obviously it is imagination. So you could bring in whatever you want. You could call it whatever you want. But it's just, if you're looking for it from you're a D&D fan and you want those specific characters. I mean, obviously you could bring in, some of it, if you have some other castle sets, you could bring in some of those people to be encounters. You could write your own encounters around that, and all of that. It'd be nice if they wrote actual sheets and the Lego printable sheets. That
Lego character sheets?
Yeah. I mean, just character sheets that were basically printed from the Lego Insider area. Just like your regular character sheets that you would make yourself. Okay. If Lego basically...
Oh, if
they had Lego had their own printable version of character sheets. That'd be kind of cool. But I mean, obviously, they do want you to go to their website at some point to get some of that action sort of thing. Yeah. There's only so much Lego can do.
And I think, I would hope that this is just one of more sets to come.
But, I mean, it's good. I like it. But obviously, there's some work to do on it.
So the question is is it worth the
360
360 to get it? And do you wait and kind of wait for those sales? Is that Mimic a big draw to getting the first day sale?
Personally, I mean, let's look at that Mimic again.
It looks kind of big, but maybe the scale looks a little bit off. It's at the bottom. You got to scroll down right there. There you go.
I mean, the Mimic is obviously bigger than.
Yeah, I don't think it'll show it to us from.
The Mimic is obviously bigger than play scale, right?
That's what it seems like. So it's more of a.
It is.
Put it on your shelf.
You're gonna have a Mimic sort of thing, right?
Because if it's play scale, you wouldn't have much to build.
Right. I don't see anything that's like set specific for that Mimic. Mm-hmm. So you probably could build this thing yourself if you just got some pieces together and build it yourself. There might be some things that might be. I don't know what those eyes are.
Look pretty unique.
And then this one lock right here.
The lock.
I'm sure you can get the lock from other sets. Or you can buy it off Bricklink or what have you.
And maybe these eyes have been in other sets.
Yeah, I don't know without looking at it closer either. And so, but I don't think it's worth getting it early for the Mimic. Personal opinion. Mm-hmm. I just think that you can easily reproduce that Mimic. And then it is a lot of money. I would wait for it to go on sale probably. I mean, I'm a huge D&D fan, but $360. It is. I mean, you do have a dragon in there. You do have a castle in there. And you have a lot of characters. You do have a lot of characters in there, which might be what is driving up the price point so much. But it just still seems a little bit high. I would probably wait for a sale. It'll probably go on sale at some point. And then might use some insiders points to knock that price down a little bit, personally.
Let's ask this question. All right, so this is the question I wanted to ask you.
Would you rather have
for $360 versus $400, just a $40 extra dollars for this amazing castle set?
It's a no-brainer to me. I buy the Lion Knight's castle.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do everything that I want D&D wise on there. Sure, I don't have the official licensed D&D characters, but there's plenty of playability here. There's plenty of castle here. You could do so much adventure here. Actually, to be honest, I wouldn't even do that. I go buy the brand new village that they just announced, and I would have better adventures there than in this castle for less money. For $230, I mean, it's more spread out. You got your inn, you got a secondary location for an encounter. You could build some of your traps in there. You could have stuff going on. You have some villagers to fill out, some scenery and stuff like that for interactivity. And then all you got to do is get your mobs, right? Which, I mean, in the other case, you have some mob specifics, which are nice, but they're a little, you could probably build some mobs or buy some mobs from some other sets in order to have the mobs that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. So that's where I think the D&D set sits well, though, is it has good iconic mobs from the game.
Agreed.
So that gives you a good pull in. Because when I look at all these, I do think those prices are better value in general for what you're getting.
For what you're getting for. And remember, this is unlicensed content, right? So that's also why it's cheaper, right? Is because they obviously have to pay D&D a little bit of money for this.
But I just want to make an advocation for why the D&D set is so special and why I would pay that extra money for the D&D set. Because you really do get that immersion of having
here's the thing.
All those characters that put you into that experience that are all right in this one set.
Very exciting. Lego could unlicense it, right?
Sure.
Like in the sense of if Lego released a castle and they just didn't call it D&D, they could have orcs, they could have gnomes, they could have elves, they have all of those already. They could just take some of their old models, throw it in there. It'd be a lot less money. They have plenty of dragons out there going around, and they could build a dragon and put it in. It's not like there's anything special. There is stuff special. Don't hurt me. But there isn't anything special about this dragon being specifically this way. for Dungeons and Dragons. It could just be a dragon that they built, they put it into a model, and you could play any model. You could play any Lego model as a D&D set, right? Just play it out, right? Again, the beauty of Lego. I mean, even when we play D&D, some people show up with Legos as their figures because it's a nice figure to have, fully customizable, whatever you want to do. So all I'm saying is you don't need the official licensed D&D set in order to play D&D with Legos.
I mean, this is true. You don't need it to play D&D with Legos, but it sure looks really good.
It does look good. It does look
That's
good.
all I could say. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I definitely can't wait for you to buy one so I can play with it. I will probably wait to buy mine, but he'll probably
be getting it
day one,
so.
And we'll build it on here for everyone to see and review it. But it does look good. I do like a lot of the characters. I love the fact that they have Dragonborn in here. I love the fact that they have all those things. Obviously, we wouldn't be getting specific molded heads for certain aspects if they didn't license with D&D. So the fact that they are licensing with D&D does go a long way. How we really liked it, the IP was really good.
I'm buying it day one.
He's buying it day one. Yeah. I'm going to wait, but we're still going to build it on stream. That way all of you can enjoy it. But long story short, I think it's a good set. I'm really excited that they're working with D&D, and I'm hoping for more, and we'll see what happens.
And one of the things I wanted to hit on before we head out here is that I'm really excited to see what's in those rule books. We'll definitely want to
the rule books.
Review that with you, see how they do like stud spacing, what constitutes a move on the play field, things like that, fall damage, how that works in a Lego D&D play setting.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to find out. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
And you've got your brick fix for today.